My name is Brandon Lilly. I am the inventor of the Cube method. I'm a powerlifter. I've been all over the world promoting powerlifting, lifting in different places, and my passion is the sport of strength. So I've worked with universities, I've worked with different tactical units, I've worked with individual athletes. So my passion is people, my passion is strength, and combining those two is what I live for. I chose to be a part of Team Anderson because in the modern world of powerlifting, there's a lot of social media aspect to it. There's a lot of hype and fame and things that are attributed to everything but strength. Every time I've talked to Ken or every time I've been around the Anderson athletes, they've all been exceptional athletes as well as exceptional people. So having the combination of strength as well as the blue collar effort from a business standpoint was a huge factor for me, because I'm a small business. I understand the small business world, and I understand that for me, being connected to strength rather than having a popular following or whatever is the reason I got into it. A one-car garage is where I started, and talking to Ken last night, I understand that he started from a suitcase and then that progressed into a garage business and so on. So there's a lot of similarity there, there's a lot of background, and we help people in the same types of ways, so it made a perfect fit for me. Yeah, I've changed a lot. April 12th of 2016 was a low point. I'd been through, at that time, I'd been through about 11 or 12 surgeries. Coming from 2013 being the highlight of my athletic career, being a champion in Australia multiple times, being all over the world, competing, and in some cases beating some of the best in the world, I was on a high. January of 2014, I had a pretty catastrophic injury, and that started the sequence of having a surgery every 3 to 4 months, and just couldn't get it right. And because of the ups and downs with surgery, because of choices that I made in pursuit of that level of strength, I was at a pretty low point because I had isolated myself. I'd removed myself from my friendships, from my family, and on that day I was at a point where I didn't want to live anymore. And in that moment, I think that decision could have made sense, because I felt like I was kind of a destructive person for other people's lives. I made choices for other people that they didn't have input, like especially my son. Traveling the way that I did, being on the road for long periods of time, things like that. I wanted him to think maybe that it was better that I was a coward and took that way out than it was to think that I didn't want him. That was a hard feeling for me to have as a father, but as a father, I had to stand up and be a man. I had to stop that line of thinking and think, okay, you've made mistakes to this point. At this point forward, you can make better decisions. So just like anybody gets into a situation where they're at a point where they're not happy, 1,000 choices got you there. Nobody wakes up and wants to be a drug addict. Nobody wants to wake up and be broke. Nobody wants to wake up and have deep depression. It's 1,000 little choices that get you to that situation. So it's not going to be one choice that gets you out. It's going to be 1,001 positive choices that get you out. So by being present, by taking action, and by committing to your word, those things are what have changed me since April 12th of 2016. If I said I'm going to be somewhere, I'll be there. If I said I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. If I tell you that I'm this type of person, that's exactly who I am. So up until 2016, that 4-year window there, or a 2-year window, it was just the darkest of the dark. And the last 2 years, it's been some of the happiest and brightest moments of my life. So I think that is something that I try to connect more with lifters now than the lifting aspect. If you're lifting and you're approaching me for coaching, you've probably got the mentality for that. But do you have the mentality to be well-rounded? Do you have the mentality to focus on yourself as a human being and as a person, not just as a lifter? So a lot of my clients have benefited probably and hopefully from the struggles that I've had. Having those moments where they have a bad meet, or they put in too much time in the lifting and they're not seeing their kid or their family or whatever. I've given the understanding that you can miss a gym training session. You can do it later in the day or earlier in the day, or you can do it tomorrow. Put your kids, put your friends, put your family first, and then the lifting will be that much better because you'll have a team behind you rather than doing it all alone. You're absolutely not, you're an individual athlete, but nobody does this alone. Absolutely. I am a powerlifter. I think I needed to step back, and a lot of people like to comment or to infer that, you know, I'm done or I'm retired or whatever. That's fine. You know, in their terms, I am retired because I'm not posting a lifting video every single day. But the work that I've done on myself behind the scenes, the lifting that I've done behind the scenes, has put me back in a place where I am in a single car garage again. You know, it's like I've come full circle on all fronts. And I'm lifting the way that I want to lift. I'm not lifting to impress anyone. I'm not lifting to gain a following. I'm not lifting to get likes. I'm lifting because the lifting that I do enhances myself as a person, and it enhances my body, and it promotes healing. So through all of those things, I've become a better person and a better lifter. So I'm a better lifter today, even though I'm not a stronger lifter than I've ever been. So I'm actually competing in South Africa this fall. I'm doing a deadlift event for a women's charity. There's a lot of situations going on in South Africa where women need help. So we're trying to do some good out of that. Plus we're going to have some fun, host some seminars, and, you know, just promote strength in a good light.